How to install CruzArmor fender tip protection kit. I want to make sure everything's good and clean. Any bugs, obviously, just want to make sure it's, like I say, really clean. You want to make sure everything's good and wet. You want to make sure your hands are clean. You want to check the pattern, kind of see how it lays before you put it on there. But then again, we're going to go ahead and spray this good. Start peeling back the film. You want to spray the soapy mixture on there as you peel it off. You don't want to allow the dry film to be sitting out where dust, static electricity can attract dust to it. So right now, it's all wet, good and wet. The wetter, the better, literally. You want it to be able to put on there and just be able to slide it all around. And it's just a matter of kind of looking at this bottom edge. You want to, about 1/8 of an inch away and centered. And then go ahead and squeegee out. Just right up the center. So all you're doing is just getting kind of a little strip, a couple inch wide strip right down the middle. You'll find if it's sliding too much, if the material's sliding, then you probably have too much soap in your slip solution. Because now that I didn't really squeegee super hard, just a moderate. Now I can push it down pretty good. But it's not moving anywhere, so we're good to go. So now we just have to work our way out. So on this side, you spray a little more soap under there. And you have these fingers. To get rid of fingers, you basically just have to pull it. When you pull it, those fingers will disappear. The problem is if we pull this and try and squeegee it down, since it's got soap underneath, it'll just slide right back. So that's where we go with alcohol, just out on that tip, just like an inch, inch and a half of that tip, and the fender, you want to wash the soap off. And what the alcohol does is literally washes that soap out, so that when we pull this, I'm just grabbing it and pulling it, you see those fingers disappear. And we kind of just wrap it around the corner and stick it. And now that's tacked down back there. And your fingers disappeared. So now we're gonna come and go ahead and just start squeegeeing all that stuff off of there. The thing you need to note, you can't squeegee through that anchor. Where we just anchored that is locked down. So everything between here and there, you kind of got to bring up and out, or down and out. Okay. And again, if it seems like the thing's slipping a lot, and when you go to pull, the whole thing's slipping, you probably have too much soap. Another way you can, on the spot, if that's happening, rectify that is, when you go to pull this, just put a little soap under there. When you go to pull this, if it's moving, you could always use a little alcohol under the tip up here, like in the before we locked everything down. Just a little alcohol here and here, so that when you lock those things down and squeegee everything out, it'll stay in place. So that when you go to pull this, it's not going to slide. Because that's the worst thing, is when you go to pull this and the whole thing slides off. So you want to make sure this is locked down good and it's not moving before you go to pull these ears. Okay? So again, now we're just going to do this side. Make sure it's nice and wet under there. Again, if we just laid it down, you'd have these fingers. So I'm going to just spray the side of the fender and just like an inch, inch and a half of this little tab, and then just kind of wiggle it back and forth while I'm pulling. You'll see, where it's going to be just right, where those fingers are gone. And you don't have to, the fingers don't have to be completely gone, just the big ones. You don't want those big ones. Smaller ones we can work our way out. I'll show you. I'll leave this one up here just to kind of show you. So that's anchored. So again, we're going to work away from that anchor. So we're kind of going to bring everything up and out. And then I'm going to show you this one finger up here that we got on top. you have that finger, a little bit of alcohol underneath there. Now when we lay that down, it's gonna disappear. Because the alcohol washed that soap out, made the adhesive be able to grip the paint. So anywhere you find where it's lifting, like if you have a little piece here lifting, just a little alcohol. You can go around the edges with the alcohol now and just push that out. And that's pretty much it. Now we'll take a dry towel. When you're wiping this stuff down, make sure and start in the center and wipe out. Kind of the same way you were doing the squeegee, because you don't want to go against the grain and have it curl up and have the microfiber going onto your adhesive and getting little pieces of microfiber fuzz underneath the film. So again, just go the same direction, kind of wipe everything out. If you end up with a little finger, you can almost use the towel as well as a squeegee, kind of in your thumb, just to push out any air, but I think we're good to go here. If you find that you have a bubble or a piece of hair or something that got under there, you can spray it, lift it back up, squeegee it back down. This stuff's really forgiving. As long as you keep everything really wet with the soapy water. Hands, fender, film, you can lift it, put it back down, just keeping it really wet. And if you're gonna clean something out from underneath, don't use your fingernail on the adhesive, just use your fingers, spray it and keep it soapy and clean out that little piece of dust or gravel or whatever it is. And you're good to go. Protected. CruzArmor.